we're good to go. And we're going to also record this session. So, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Catherine Prentes. I am the Managing Director of the Coach Training Division of Noble Manhattan Coaching in the Balkan region, covering the countries of Greece, Macedonia, Albania, Kosovo, Montenegro, Bosnia, Croatia, and of course Bulgaria, where our office is actually positioned. The team that is positioned in Bulgaria is responsible for the Balkan region. Tonight's guest to our webinar is Dawn Campbell from the International Authority of Professional Coaching and Mentoring. Before I introduce her and give her the mic, I wanted to say that, well, as you know, this week it's Thanksgiving week, and right after Thanksgiving there is everybody calls it Black Friday, and I really don't like actually that statement, I never liked joining that wave of that name because I really actually appreciate Thanksgiving. So because we're thankful for you as our students and friends and audience and clients and colleagues and partners, we do something special as well, but we name it after Thanksgiving. So anyway, for Thursday and Friday this week, for those of you who haven't heard, we are running our Thanksgiving discount of 17% off on any of the coach training courses that we run in this region and in Europe. I mean Noble Manhattan courses. So the Practitioner Coach Diploma, the Coaching Masterclass program, and the Coaching Fundamentals program. And tonight, those of you who registered tonight, you probably noticed that the link to register is called, it's a bit.ly link, bit.ly/ how do you call it? This slide line that divides it. Anyway, it's a bit.ly link, but it's called PCD 2022 webinars. Now, if you wonder what PCD means, that stands for Practitioner Coach Diploma. And the fourth Wednesday, like tonight of every month, we run a special webinar for our students in training, coaches in training on the Practitioner Coach Diploma course. So tonight is that kind of an event. Recently, we have been opening up our webinars, and we have been inviting a variety of trainers, not only directly related to the course curriculum, simply because just a couple of days after this webinar, we also have the monthly masterclass, which this week is on Saturday, the 26th. And so that covers in greater detail the curriculum of the course, but we started using tonight's webinars as an opportunity to interact with interesting trainers and speakers, as well as friends who might not be currently students of Noble Manhattan Coaches, but are still interested in the input and the audience that we create and Noble Manhattan family. So thank you for being here. I'm super happy to say that the Practitioner Coach Diploma is an accredited course with the International Authority of Professional Coaching and Mentoring. And I'm also an accredited master coach with that organization. Why am I saying that? Very often, at least in some of the countries where I work more closely, oftentimes when we talk about accreditation, generally people think of maybe one accreditation body. And some are more popular, some have better marketing perhaps at times in certain areas of the world. But the world of accreditation is larger than just one organization. And it's good to be aware of the key players in the world of accreditation. And actually the International Authority of Professional Coaching and Mentoring is one of those, not just key, it's a major player. And I'm super happy that Dawn accepted my invitation to be a speaker tonight. Thank you, Dawn. I have to say also that you were probably one of the coaches that inspired me to even start training. I remember when I was still researching, this is many years ago I'm talking, you didn't even know me at the time. But and I watched different webinars with you and podcasts. In those days we didn't have Zoom, so it was a bit different. But and I always kind of listened with awe, like what are you gonna say? I don't know, I had this thing. So I was very happy later when as part of No Manhattan Coaching, you participated in our training as mentors, and I'm very thankful for that as well. So I'm gonna give you the mic, Dawn, and I would like to invite you to say a few more words about you and introduce to everybody the International Authority of Professional Coaching and Mentoring and what makes you so special as an organization.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm just going to share my screen.
And of course, for everybody else, as the presentation goes, of course, feel free to drop in the chat any questions or comments, and we'll make sure to help Dawn see these comments. And if you need to say something, give us a sign, or just simply unmute yourself and ask your question. Feel free to interact.
Thank you, Katrine. Well, it's lovely to be invited. Thank you. Great crowd here tonight. As Katrine says, my name's Dawn Campbell, and I've got a very close and loving affinity with NMC. Because I was head of mentoring for some years and a mentor for a very long time. So I consider NMC part of my coaching journey and my family, like I do with the IAPC&M. As Katrina said, we're one of the leading accreditation bodies for coaches, mentors, universities and training providers and some in-house corporate programs. And we're just about to celebrate our 25th anniversary. So you're the first guys to see this new logo, which will be everywhere next year.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you very much. So, So the IAPC&M have been going since 1998, as I say, nearly 25 years ago, and we have helped literally thousands of international practitioners, just like you guys. Some of you are already coaches, some of you are students, some of you are considering becoming an NMC student. So we've helped people just like yourselves to upscale your business using our various platforms, because once you've invested in the training, and in fact, as I was having a conversation with somebody this morning, on Friday night, I've got my certificate saying distinction. Monday morning, what do I do? How do I create my business? So we work very complementary, hand in hand, with many training providers, including Noble Manhattan, to help the students and their postgrads to grow their businesses and obviously help more people and make a living. So the first popular question we get asked is why accreditation? You've just been certified by your training provider. Why do I need to become accredited? So I would invite you to think back to when you were choosing which was the course that you were looking for, and what were some of the key differentiators that were important to you when you made your choice. For many people, one of them was the quality assurances that came with that. And that's where the accreditation comes in. And it's what your clients will be looking for in the future when they're considering who to hire as their coach or mentor. So it's a massive differentiator in a very, well, we used to say a very crowded market, but of course, post or since the start of COVID, it's a very noisy digital space. So anything you can do to create that all-important differentiator has got to help. So accreditation is something that is done by an independent third party. So organizations like NMC, they've invested in taking a body of evidence, all their material to an independent third party to have it quality assessed across the whole industry. And it's always done by an independent, because that's how you get the gravitas attached to the certification. And that's why it's higher than certification. So that's it in a nutshell. Because if you think about it, when you walk through the airport and you see on the book stands, you know, they all say #1 bestseller. We can all say that, but it's kind of meaningless unless it comes from an independent source. And that's what your clients are looking for, that assurance that you belong to an international accreditation body, that stamp of approval, that you have the capability to deliver what you say you can deliver on an international playing field. Now, I've put this slide in because it's obviously your personal journey, not just through the coaching program, but through the accreditation world. Is, you know, if you don't do it now, when will you do it? And arguably, I would say if you do it in 10 years' time, you'll wish you had done it way back when, which is what we hear all the time. So we've opened accreditation application up to students, and I'll come back to that in more detail later. What that means is you've got the ability then to grow your business while you're doing your coach training studies. So that's really important. If you've got the time and, you know, not too many domestic commitments, you could actually be growing your business while you're studying. So growing your business through us, you won't actually take your accreditation assessment call until the likes of Katrine and NMC have signed you off, but you get all the other benefits, and I'll explain in more detail later. So we have 4 levels of accreditation, and this is one of the reasons why we've opened it up to student applications, because we recognize that Noble Manhattan might have students on their books who have been great in-house corporate coaches for many years, but come to a formal coaching academy to get that certification because they're going to go freelance in the future. So you don't necessarily have to come in at practitioner level. It's possible you could be a senior or a master based on your corporate in-house hours. But typically, students will come in at the practitioner level. So what we're asking for here is 60 specific training hours and 60 practical hours. Now, because you're students and new practitioners, we don't expect any of those hours to be paid for. It could be study buddy, family and friends, colleagues at work, pro bono. It really doesn't matter who you're coaching, but we don't have you take your assessment call until you've got those 60 hours on your coaching log. And I know Noble Manhattan provide all of those logs for you. We've got them on the website as well. And then, as Katrine says, she's upgraded, she's gone through the ranks, and she's a master, and I'm sure before long she's going to join the elite as a fellow. Little challenge there for you, Katrine.
You had to make it public, didn't you?
Yes. I won't add in that all accountability. When are you going to do it? I'll leave that one with you to think about. But applying couldn't be easier. It's all automated. You just simply go online and you'll go through what we call the IAPC&M. And that means because you've trained with Noble Manhattan, you benefit from the faster track reduced fee option to your personal accreditation status. So it's very easy to spot. It's always the discounted route, and that discount stays with you for the whole of your life. So as you upgrade and follow in Katrina's footsteps to senior and then to master, you will always have the discounted route. Once we've received that payment, whether it's through PayPal or whether you've done it online, you'll receive the IAPC&M welcome, and it will include everything that it says on the website in terms of your evidence portfolio, which isn't a great deal at practitioner level. We'll give you our code of professional conduct to sign. It's a nice bit of PR, actually. If you've got a website, you can put that on with everything else that we will give you throughout the accreditation journey. And you'll have a self-reflection form to complete and a standards and ethics questionnaire, which is industry awareness. So at the entry level, there's very little written work for you to do because we recognize you've already just probably submitted a fairly meaty thesis for your certification with NMC.
Yes.
help you get through your assessment calls. We kind of joke that we've got 11 hours worth of masterclasses to go through a 30-minute assessment call. But what we wanted to do is really hold your hand through that process so that you are very, very comfortable. There's no surprises at all. You know exactly what we're looking for in terms of establishing that relationship, using open questions, listening intuitively, and so on. We have master coaches who listen to this and say, God, that was a fantastic. We have training providers who use this as part of their material. So we know not only is it fun and enjoyable to listen to, it's really, really valuable. So that will be part of your welcome email. So at practitioner level, which is where I'm aiming the majority of the talk, the entry level, you have a 30-minute live assessment call. We don't do role plays. You'll fill out the self-reflection form. It's very simple, 5 to 10 minutes. What worked well? Now the pressure's off. What would you do differently? That forms part of your CPD for when you upgrade to a senior the following year. And if you do apply for senior and above, then there is an interview as well. I won't go into the capability model in any great detail, but I just do want to say that we have a very holistic approach to assessments. We're very flexible, and because we've got capabilities model, it means we're very inclusive. So somebody like myself who's dyslexic, if it was a very academic type of route, i.e., writing essays and things or filling out forms, I might be put off. So David and I, when we took over running the company 4 or 5 years ago, we worked with Oxford Brookes University to change from a competencies model to a capabilities model, which we found to be much more accurate way of assessing somebody's capability. Plus, as I say, it's much more holistic and inclusive. And I'll take questions. I should have said at the beginning, I'll happily take any questions at the end, if anybody wants to know any more specifically about that. Now, of course, we're in a largely unregulated market, aren't we? So if you go for assessment, you're doing something over and above what you've just been through in training. But the feedback that we've had is amazing in terms of the boost to confidence that is experienced after they've been through their assessment call. As scary as it might be, to put yourself through that challenge, it's very, very rewarding, not least because of all the feedback that you get. But you really do then start to believe that you've been assessed on an international industry standard, opposed to the training provider that you've come through. So massive boost to your confidence. And then when you've succeeded, you get your certificate and your logo. And these are all part of a marketing package that you will get to promote on social media that sets you apart from practitioners who aren't properly trained, aren't insured, aren't professionally accredited, to help you stand out as an expert in your field. And then finally, you'll be invited to create your profile in the international directory. And what that looks like from a client point of view is they will see how to choose your mentor or how to choose your training provider. So these are complimentary e-guides that people download, and it helps them interview their training provider or their coach or mentor. So again, having these links on your website, if you have a website, just kind of cements the relationship that you have with your authority. And then there's the rah-rah on social media. And Katrine has seen lots of this because lots of our students have gone through this. So we shout about it on social media, and there's a link back to your directory in the profile, because all our marketing is about driving the public to go to the directory and hire the best-in-class practitioners. So just to go back to why your accreditation status matters, as I said earlier, the public are increasingly presenting ever sophisticated and complex requirements, and they are doing their due diligence more than they've ever done in the past. So I know that a lot of our marketing is working, that we're saying to the public, don't just pick somebody because you had a good conversation with them. Pick somebody who is a professional. This is a professional profession. So do your due diligence, the same as you would if you were hiring a driving instructor or an accountant. Because people who sign up to an accreditation body and get insured if their country offers insurance, and they've gone through a formal training process. They've not only acquired the skills, they've served their apprenticeship, they've proved it with their coaching log, it proves they care, it shows that they've got a certain amount of pride in themselves and their industry, and that they've signed up to a professional code of conduct. So I just wanted to say a little bit more about that. And you can see we've got hundreds of testimonials on the website that will talk you through what the members actually think. Because it's okay me saying all of this, because I've worked with the IAPC&M for over a decade, my family, but hearing what members actually think is important. So what's in it for me? So you've paid your £397 and VAT as well if you're in the UK, which I think very few people on this call are tonight, although I know there are some. What's in it for you? So apart from the fact that you're obviously going to get your accreditation, you get your first membership in terms of all the benefits. So once you've been assessed and you've succeeded in that process, you're going to get a PDF that will help you navigate the website and help you create your profile, and lots of actions to work through over the next couple of weeks. It will give you access to the secure members area. This is where I suppose all the magic happens. So if students are thinking about building their business while they study, this is probably going to be one of the most important sections to them. They want to download things like contract templates, complaints templates, testimonial templates, policies, anything that you can think that you might need. You start your business, it's all in there. If you can't find it, just ask David, because we have a wealth of experience and resource. So we can probably find things faster than you can, and it is an evolving resource center. The other section is the solution partners. So we outsource everything. So our web design, our graphic design, our VAs, etc. So everybody we've had a good service from, we've asked them to give us a discount so that our members can benefit. So if I was to click solution partners, this is what I would see. So I could look up, who's offering discounted supervision or discounted insurance or discounted bookkeeping, discounted websites, etc. Again, it's things that we think our new members, new practitioners in particular, will benefit from. And when you click on any of those, you're going to get a whole array of companies. You'll recognize some of these logos with Coach Radio and Noble Media and Coach Finder. But we have various directories, and everything from bookkeeping to publishing to mental health first aid and so on, often at 50% off because you're IAPC&M accredited members or just members. I just want to share with you this organization here, Reciprocoach, because when I was head of mentoring, one of the things I often heard was, I've run out of people to practice on and it doesn't feel authentic with family and friends. I need more people to practice my coaching with and get, constructive feedback. So we have an arrangement with Reciprocoach that our members, for about $50, $55, get 6 hours coaching, and they give 6 hours coaching. So not only are they building their coaching log and their confidence, they're getting exposure to coaches all around the world and coaching models. So that's a really nice organization discount that we have, so that you don't have to be worrying about where am I going to find my next practice hours. So as I mentioned earlier, we're very big on the CPD side. We really have worked hard to plug that gap, because we recognize not everybody, like Noble Manhattan, provide a business element to their coach training. You're very lucky when you go through Noble Manhattan that there is a lot of time dedicated to growing your business. That's not the case with everybody. So we provide a lot of business acumen support, and it is all complimentary. So all your CPD credits, there's nothing else for you to pay with your 397. And of course, in your second year, you're already accredited, so you only pay £140 a year. That gives you your new certificate and access to all the growing benefits that are released every single week, week in, week out. So I think that equates 4p a day, which is probably about 29 cents. I don't know what you can get for that these days, but not very much. This is a whole presentation on its own, and I'm probably going to leave that for another time, but it's just really to highlight the fact that we have a huge amount of masterclasses aimed at new practitioners to help them get started with their business. So what do I do day one? What should I be thinking now that it's me PLC? Because let's face it, you're not going to have a full coaching diary, probably for a year, maybe 2 or 3 years. But by about 2 or 3 years, you're probably spending 80% of your time coaching, and you've outsourced a lot of these roles. But in the short term, you know, what are you going to be spending your time on? What systems do you need to set up in anticipation of being busy with clients? And I'm going to share with you now a slide of 2 people that you may not recognize, because I think they're both New Manhattan ladies. They're kind of less than a year since they were certified. But you look at their profile pages and you would, I think, super impressed at what they've achieved. They were obviously experts in their own right, in their own field. They added coaching to their skill set. They've been on my Write Your Book course, which is 90 pages in 90 days, which gave them their signature program, which the IAPC&M accredited, which has given them their signature speech, which means that they can go to any event. They've got this speech already written. It means journalists will be attracted to them because they know that they've got books published. They're an authority. And Eileen has gone on and created apps and programs. She's got her second book out. I think Julia's writing her second book. But I just think these 2 inspirational women, while they didn't have a full diary of coaching clients in those early days, got really busy with all of this. That's all I'm going to say for now. I'm sure Katrina has got a lot more advice and support on how you actually achieve that. So going back to the business acumen, we have a 12-month, 12 modular e-program. Again, as I say, everything is complimentary. And it's a series of videos with handouts on every aspect of what you do on Monday morning when you say, right, I've gone freelance. How do I set up my business? And then you can attend the every 3rd Monday of the month live marketing Q&A drop-in clinic by the founder of the person who wrote this program for us. We have free supervision on the first Sunday of every month for anybody who's working with children and adolescents, and that's hugely powerful. It's run by psychotherapists and qualified supervisors, because obviously you're working with the next generation of leaders. And if we can get children coached now, I'm sure we'll save them years and thousands of pounds worth of angst and therapy as adults. We have a book review club as part of your CPD. So many great books out there, so little time. I don't know about you, but I'm a bookworm, but I'm more into podcasts at the moment. But our aim is to get 2 book reviews out every month, so you get the gems, you know, just 2 or 3 pages, all the gems. And then obviously you can decide if you want to write the book yourself or not, read the book yourself. And if you have written a book, then we'd love to interview you and include you on our book review club and author series. This was one of the initiatives that we created for our members because we recognize that, you know, as I said, the public are always looking for that extra, whether it's a free e-guide, a complimentary report, you know, something that you've got as a giveaway. So we project managed this book written by what I call the Magnificent Seven. And they've now got a book on Amazon, which we send a copy to all the training providers. So you may have seen it at residentials floating around. But it's a really heartfelt business handbook that I recommend you read if you're starting out. And it covers primarily marketing and when you've got clients, how do you keep them? Because we know it's 10 times more expensive to keep looking for new clients than it is to keep existing ones happy. So it's well worth learning those strategies. This is our pipeline website. So for instance, as a student coach of NMC, you might feel that you want to write 10 tips on how to lose weight. on how to get out of debt. You know, whatever it is, you can start blogging and posting here. And then when you're qualified and you're on the IAPC&M International Directory, anybody who's been following you here, when they're ready to invest in themselves, they've gone as far as they can on their own, reading tips. They think, right, I really like that author. I follow. I'm now going to go to the website and choose my coach. Just another way of you attracting clients. There's a huge amount of one-to-one support, primarily through David and myself and our management team. So on the spot, you know, mentoring, coaching, supervision, but of course you want a proper plan, then that would be paid for. But, you know, quick one-to-one sessions, always available. We have our own podcast. And this is a nice piece of PR for you, professionals. But it also says to the public, wow, I didn't know I could be coached on a subject like that. So then they might look at that category or that niche and start to find coaches that way. So we're always looking for guests who want to come on with a client. And then all of those benefits, which usually come to about £6,000 to £9,000 worth of benefits every year, in terms of putting you in front of experts, the business drop-in clinics, you get the supervision, all the CPE credits, etc. I do an annual return on investment statement every January. This is what you got for £140 last year. And as I say, it's thousands of pounds worth of discounts and benefits. And it culminates every year in this fabulous week-long CPD virtual event called International Coaching Week. And as you can see, I'm promoting it. This is the first promo, and you're the first guys to see it. International Coaching Week 2023. It's their 25th anniversary as well. So you can expect a lot of rah in 2023. I think we've got some great speakers, and we've got some founders in the coaching field as well. And the theme is helping you to grow your business with heart, rather than the ka-ching, 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 because we know about the laws of universe. We're desperate to get a client, and we take any client because we're desperate, and you know, all of those sorts of things. It doesn't necessarily work as effectively as it could if we start the day with gratitude and thinking, how can we be of service today? How can we make a positive difference in the world? And these wonderful men and ladies are going to share with us how they have grown multi-million-pound businesses, how they've transitioned from coach to international best-selling authors, and how they still, some of them are still coaching on a one-to-one basis. So they're going to be sharing their strategies for us. So it's going to be a wonderful event. We have thousands of people all around the world registering for this opportunity, and you're all our compliments. I'm coming to the end now, other than just a couple of things to say that, you know, we like to think that our members are proud of their industry, and they're proud of their authority accreditation body. So we have an affiliation program because we wanted to say to you that, you know, at a practitioner level, for instance, at £140 a year, if you introduce, 5 people over the course of a year, that's your accreditation and your renewal fee paid. So you would never have to pay another fee again. So you have that opportunity. And I think, oops, I put it in twice because it's so good. And I think that is pretty much it. So I've included a couple of testimonials there because we have quite a lot of members who are members of more than one accreditation body. And so evidently people get different things from their different accreditation bodies. I kind of liken it to the fact that as an artist and a writer, I subscribe to lots of different writing magazines and art magazines. I get different things from them. So you're more than welcome to apply for more than one accreditation body. We're all a force for good. And our members typically will say to us that we are the most caring, sharing, practical, hands-on resource available. So those are their words, not ours. And you can read hundreds of testimonials online. But I just wanted to end with a reminder, if this is the first time you've seen it, advise you this offer is valid for another week, finishes at the end of November. Student coaches who are students at the moment with NMC or about to sign up with NMC, if you do it in the next week, you will still benefit, can have an interest-free payment in your accreditation process. So perhaps by the time you're signed off and you've got your certificate, you're ready to take your assessment call with us, it's already all paid for maybe, but you've grown your business, you've got all your systems in place, you've got your contract, etc. And all you'd have to do then is work with us in announcing it to the world. So I think that's it. So let's take questions, please.
Dawn, you have a couple in the chat already from Cynthia.
Thank you. Cynthia, would you like to say it out loud or would you like to read them out to me, Brian?
I can read them out to you. First one.
Thank you.
What is the difference between specific and actual coaching hours?
Specific and actual coaching hours? I don't know. Is there a difference? I don't think so. Any hours that you've done, whether it's with teams, in groups, family, friends, colleagues, study buddies, those are all hours. We're not at all prescriptive. Same with our CPD. We're not prescriptive and saying, oh, that doesn't count, but you can have that. If you've coached somebody, it's a coaching session and therefore it qualifies.
Also a question. I'm with NMC. I'm
working.
I'm working on my diploma. So if I'm working with them on my coaching hours, can I also write the same information that I get from my coaching sessions with NMC in your log?
Yes, you don't even have to use a different log. If you've got a log, you don't have to then, transfer it all to our log. That's fine. We provide a log for people who don't have one. So there's no need to duplicate any work.
Maybe I can add a little clarification. Well, since the practitioner coach diploma is an accredited course with IAPC&M, the method and what we have focused on, some of the elements, they fall right in alignment with the IAPC&M. An example of that is the coaching log. In fact, the 60 hours is a requirement to graduate from the diploma course, with the hopes that as soon as you graduate, you will already be prepared to just go straight in and get accredited if you so desire. So yes, the log is in alignment with IAPC&M and the requirements of the number of hours practice is also. Mm-hmm. There were more questions.
Yes. Another one from Cynthia. With Reciprocoach, do we have to apply after we take our accreditation or is it during okay?
You can apply for any of the discounts in the secure members area whenever you like. Reciprocoach, the deal that we have with them is very attractive to student coaches who are struggling to find their 60 hours. So that's where they make a real difference. Because it's not usually required after that, but you can use it at any stage to suit you.
And another one from Cynthia, and she may have to specify which masterclass she's referring to, but she says, when can we start applying for masterclasses? Because Dawn, you have your masterclasses and NMC has their masterclasses.
Yeah, okay. So all our masterclasses happen every week, usually week in, week out, all year long. And they're complementary to anybody and everybody. But they're available on the blog that week, and thereafter they're in the secure members area, all archived, all very easy to find so that new members never miss an opportunity to learn. So if you want to go to the marketing masterclasses or the sales marketing classes or how to become published marketing classes, they're all catalogued for you. So it makes it really easy. So when you become a member, immediately you will be added to the MailChimp database, which means you will get a weekly bulletin within a week of joining us and telling you about the next masterclass. but you don't have to apply to benefit from the masterclasses. You just have to apply to have permanent access to the secure members area.
Cynthia, may I ask you, did you mean the masterclasses with the IAPC&M or with Noble Manhattan?
With Noble Manhattan, because there are modules I have to finish first before I start attending the master classes. So I just wanted to take like an idea of what happens during the master class. I thought I might make use of the master classes in IAPC&M. That's right.
Okay, so Dawn answered about the master classes with the IAPC&M. And as far as Noble Manhattan, I run the masterclass in Europe, and it happens actually this Saturday. It's best, you can also talk to me directly or with the person that is in charge of the country where you reside, usually the person that signed you up on the course. But this masterclass that will happen on Saturday, we have students actually all the way from Thailand to Mexico. Mexicans have a hard time with the time difference. It's really, really difficult. So it's a juggling act there. But so you're welcome to join them. We do them every single month on the 4th Saturday, not the last, but the 4th. Which means, unfortunately, that for this year, this Saturday is the last masterclass of the year, because next month in December will coincide with the Christmas holidays that many of the countries here celebrate. So, but if you're curious to pop in on Saturday, you're welcome to. Just contact me. I'll send you the link. You can see what happens. I'll be happy.
Thank you very much.
And Cynthia, if you're curious about our masterclasses, just go to any of our social media platforms and there will be a link and you can register. So I'm just putting the ICW International Coaching Week slide back up. So the first masterclass by Carol Ann, I think she said is going to be on spirituality in coaching. Everybody's masterclass is slightly different. Shri in the middle there, she's a TED talker, you know, how to get a TED talk, how to deal with conflict in confidence to deal with a speech. You know, they've all got different ones, but they tend to be 45 minutes followed by a 15 Q&A. And when you apply, when you register for one, you get a registration, the same link for all of them. So it's a one-time registration for the whole week. So very simple. Massive learning opportunity. So you might want to download our CPD log and really take copious notes for that event. But all our members get plenty of advance notice of these things.
Very nice. Actually, I wanted to say a plug-in for your YouTube channel as well. I am a real fan of all the videos that you post. They're so regularly and so much. There's a lot of information just open and available for just the general public, which is amazing. And it's really well done, training sessions and very great speakers, good content. So well done. Thank you. I watched those. So
Thank you. Well, you know, I think because we're very service orientated, and we're very passionate about the end user, either the student or the client, being well looked after. We just feel that we have an opportunity, and our head of professional standards is quite senior in the medical, the NHS. We've always had that sort of very caring, sharing, first do no harm, and just to be a force for good. So that's great feedback. I appreciate that. Thank you, Catherine.
My pleasure. Okay, I was curious about the slide I saw, which somehow I had missed it before. If you go back a few slides about the blog that people can post. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Where is it? How is it called?
It's called Coach Yourself. Huh? Yeah. We set it up last year. You'll find it, Catherine, in your monthly summary towards the bottom. where it's free PR opportunities to promote yourself, because we get inquiries, we get thousands of inquiries from the public, either wanting to hire a coach or become a student. So obviously we forward the student ones to the training providers, but we try and help the others by saying, well, you can go to the directory, or if they say we can't afford coaching, what is coaching? So we decided to set up a Coach Yourself blog as a pipeline to the directory and encourage people to write and share podcasts and tips, so that people got an understanding of how quick and how results orientated coaching can be. And when they've got as far as they can on their own, then they hop over to the IAPC&M directory and maybe, hopefully, hire the coach or the author that they've been following.
Very good. Very good. Wonderful. What else shall I say here? Okay, well, do you have any questions? Anybody else? Let's see who's online. This is your chance.
Anthony's asking, wondering if there's a summary of what one gets after signing up.
Yes, absolutely. You'll get the return on investment statement that I produce every January, listing everything. And then periodically, I will send you little snippets. So I will send you a checklist on how to make the most on social media. I'm always available for one-to-one brainstormings. I've interviewed hundreds and hundreds of people for their YouTube channels, or a nice little bit of promo if they've got a service or a book or something coming out, or they're new. So I think that's one of the, when members say to us we're the most available resource out there, it's because David and I care passionately about what happens to you once you've applied for your accreditation. We're not in competition at all with the likes of NMC. We don't have any courses, no paid for training to plug. They're training you to be the best possible coach. We're helping you to be the best possible business person. So we're putting you in front of people all the time. So you're getting weekly invites with what's available. You get a monthly summary of what's coming up and an archive of what's just happened. So nobody ever misses anything. There is a lot of information on a regular basis that will keep you focused and on track, so you can take advantage of whatever you want at that particular time.
Wonderful. Yes, thank you. All right, so since I see a lot of our students online right now, which is one of the ideas of this webinar, if you haven't yet put Noble Manhattan as your school in your LinkedIn profile, do so. We just activated that option, so you can add in your education segment on your profile that you have also studied here. And that brings me to the other side. Since we're talking about business, do you have a LinkedIn profile? If you don't have, please make one. It's a very good platform to be present on. And yes, add Noble Manhattan as your coach training provider. And when you get to be a member also of IAPC&M, you can also add that in your experience, or add your logos and accreditation. There's a section underneath you can enter what you're affiliated with and any awards you have received. And so your accreditation status can be added as well there. So.
Yeah, if I could just say one last thing, is because we've got the international directory, if anybody either can't afford or doesn't want a website, they don't want to invest in it for whatever reason at the time, that is actually your shop window. It will do everything for you except a shopping cart. So you can upload videos, testimonials, anything you want, and save yourself quite a lot of money and time working with a designer. So there's another option there for you to put that information on there.
Okay, Dawn, we have another question from Cynthia.
Yes. Please, Brian.
Is there a checklist for each person who applies for a course with the IAPC&M to fill whenever they finish parts of the course to make sure that they are on the right track?
Okay, good question. I love all your questions, Cynthia. You're really paying attention. Thank you. We don't actually have a course because the course is the Noble Manhattan training that you're on. For us, it's your accreditation journey, and you will have a welcome email listing exactly what we need in terms of evidence. So your coaching log, your NMC certificate, etc. But we know that we won't get that until you've finished with NMC. So that's fine. We're not, that doesn't stop you benefiting from all the benefits and building your business. And then, as I say, thereafter, you're going to get the weekly bulletin saying what's happening next week. You'll get the monthly summary, what's happening next month, what happened last month that you may have missed. So there is regular things coming out that's going to keep you on track. In terms of your accreditation journey, when you're ready to say, I would like to consider, I've got my 60 practical coaching hours, I've got my certificate from Noble Manhattan, I'm ready to become assessed. That's when you then get this list of saying that this is what we need, book in your assessment call. You don't have to sort of second guess or think about anything. We hold your hand every step of the way. It's all, you know, we've been doing this since 1998, so we've simplified it as much as possible.
And with the Noble Manhattan PCD students, basically, once you get your certificate, you pretty much met all the checklists for you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So,
as Katrine says, we're very aligned.
Yeah.
So,
Anthony's asking, how long does the accreditation typically take? Sorry about the tongue twister.
okay, the accreditation call is 30 minutes if you're coming in at a practitioner level. If you're talking about the accreditation journey, most people, if they're already certified by Katrine, it takes 2 to 6 weeks to get, you know, your body of evidence together, fill out the standards and ethics questionnaire, return your signed code of conduct, book your 30-minute call. If you've got all that handy, you can do it in 2 weeks. If you've got holidays or whatever, you might, but typically I'd say within 6 weeks, somebody is accredited. If you're a student, then it takes as long as it takes for you to complete your course.
But Anthony, you're at the end of your course and we already have your final assessment scheduled. So you shouldn't take any time much longer than that.
So you could be announcing some good news and a wonderful way to kickstart 2023, certified by NMC and accredited by the IAPC&M. So that's an international professional accreditation, lots to shout about on social media, and we'll be doing that as well with you.
Absolutely. It's a really powerful package, the two accreditations and the training and the accreditation.
Anthony's also going to be a published author because we're converting her wonderful thesis into an ebook for her.
Fantastic. What's the subject, Brian?
Oh, ask Anthony. It's her book.
Anthony, can you answer that?
Oh, she's blushing too much.
She's a very good writer, by the way. I have read her stuff. So yeah.
Well, we would love to feature if it's coach related, industry business related. Feature it on the. In fact, I'll just show you because that might be quite nice for you to see this. Share screen, and if I just go to the website, just a second, if I can get out of here. I need to do that first. Share this with you because this has really taken off big time. This year, International Coaching Week was everything to do with being published. And so we have the education section and the book review club. Hopefully you can see this now. Can you see it?
Yes.
me the thumbs up. Yeah, okay. So we've got lots and lots of books, great books, and this is where some of our authors are. But you know, we come across authors on social media and we ask if they would like to have their book reviewed. So if you're a bookworm, you know, join the volunteer book review club. All of these wonderful opportunities to read books. You just write a 2-page book review, and we promote those to all the members. And then we have the author series as well. So if I go to the blog, and I will just show you a typical layout for interviewing authors. Let me see if I can find one. We haven't done one in the last 2 weeks. Just a second. So if I go via, I know she was one of our, I think she was an NMC person as well. Right, so this is the author series. So we have a promo slide with the author, with their books, any other material, and then they would open up the blog and there's an interview. So we have an interview series, and then it's linked to your book. So perhaps, Anthea, you will be here sometime next year with your book in hand, being interviewed by our lovely host and featured on our blog as an author.
Dawn, another business question.
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but majority of our people here are outside of Great Britain. So the fee that they would pay is without VAT, correct? There's no 20% VAT.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And as I say, for the newbies who are considering just signing up for NMC and the students who are on there currently, there is a special offer till the end of November that you can have an interest-free 6-month payment plan of, you know, the 397, I think equates to about £79 a month.
Well, thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you for explaining everything. Thank you for being with us, and thank you everyone for participating, for the good questions. So those of you, I'm looking at the listing of people. So yes, Cynthia, you have an invitation for Saturday. Auntie, you have an invitation for Saturday as well. If you're interested in joining, it might actually help with preparing you for your final assessment. So for the masterclass, the rest of you, see you on Saturday, and we'll make sure to connect it with Dawn in case anybody would like to ask further questions of how to personally benefit from being an accredited coach with IAPC&M. Okay, so thank you. Enjoy your evening. Those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. Remember, if you're looking for a coach training program, we have a Thanksgiving discount of 17%. So take advantage of it, and speak to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you so much, Dawn.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.